What's up, y'all? Night's Edge here again. Anybody notice anything different? Background, anything like that? No? Okay. Well, here we go. This is a something obscene knife, as you can see, that was loaned to me by Mr. Eddie. Y'all should definitely go check him out on Instagram, Mr. Eddie_411. I'm going to have him linked down below. He has sent me a bunch of cool knives to look at. Some I've reviewed, some I'm still looking at. Great guy, great channel, really cool pictures, and yeah, really good little fixed blade business going. Or not business, but I mean, he makes some really neat fixed blades. Y'all should definitely contact him if you're interested in a really good quality custom small fixed blade. But this is part of his extravagant, super crazy knife collection he's got. He actually sent me this in. That's why I've got it for the background here, just to kind of, match up with the knife, right? So what we got here is a something obscene knife company. That's the name of the company. Lek. That's the name of the knife. The knife didn't come with the mat. Mr. Eddie actually sent me the mat, but he also sent me the knife in to borrow. The mat, the mat to keep, but the knife to borrow. So really cool knife. I really like this one. A lot of unique, cool things about it. So I figured I'd try to do something a little different. Maybe get through this review with this crazy background here. See what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments down below for sure. So starting out, we'll go ahead and get into the specs on this one. All the way from the tip of the blade to the end of the handle, you're looking right at 8.5 inches on that. Blade length, if you're going from the tip all the way right here where it meets up with the handle, you're looking at 3 7/8, so pretty impressive blade length there. And including the choil and the flat space a little bit right there in the choil, you're looking right at 3 3/8. So even with that little choil you got there, definitely plenty of room to plenty of blade length to cut with. I'm sorry. All right, so get out the old calipers here. Make sure they're zeroed out. Thickest part of the spine. So on the thickest part of the spine, you're looking at right around 160 thousandths. And this thing does kind of swedge down. It's like a full flat, but it's got a bevel going up on the top side. Almost like a full flat that wants to be a hollow grind. So right there behind the edge, right where the edge meets the flat, you're looking right at around 20 thousandths there. So it goes down to relatively thin blade stock. I mean, not super thin or anything. I'd say, probably around average right there, right? So handle thickness, you're looking right at 500, make sure we get that right, 553 thousandths, a little over half an inch. Not incredibly thick, definitely some robust handles. Pretty much a non-issue either way as far as thickness or thinness of the handles. For that massive and broad of a blade, pretty good size handle on this one, I would say. All right, so we'll go ahead and get out some size comparisons here. We got the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and the, well, let me straighten that pattern in the background is really throwing me off. Spyderco Para 3, right? So you can see it's more along the lines of the size of the Paramilitary 2 for sure, and got a little bit more cutting edge than the Paramilitary 2, right? So as far as overall length goes, definitely longer than the Paramilitary 2. Ontario Knives Rat Model 1 and Ontario Knives Rat Model 2. Good little comparison there. Definitely closer to the size of the Rat Model 1, the larger one. And get out the Doug Ritter Hogue RSK MK1 and G10 and the Hogue Deca. So closer along the lines of the size of the Ritter Hogue, right? So what we're seeing here is it's definitely more of a full-size knife, I'd say. So got all those size comparisons, then the calibers. Let's go ahead and what's next? We got to get out the scale, right? Let me get the scale out here. Put it on there. 5.1. 5.1. All right, so 5.1 ounces, definitely over the ounce and inch margin right there that a lot of people go by, but 5.1 ounces, in my opinion, is not really anywhere near a a crazy weight to carry in the pocket, unless you're doing, I mean, if you got on gym shorts, swim trunks, something like that, I definitely reconsider. So, looking at it in pocket, that's pretty much what you're looking at there. Not a deep carry by any means. I mean, you still got this little bit sticking out, but not an incredible amount sticking out. Now you can pull this. That's pretty good way to get it out of the pocket. Pinch it like that, pull it out. So it is really accessible. It's a smooth clip. The clip, the screws are set inward in the handle there. So I mean, you don't have to worry about screws grabbing your jeans, tearing your jeans up, stuff like that. So that's a good thing for sure. No complaints with the pocket clip. I absolutely love it. If you can survive not having an incredibly deep carry pocket clip, then that is definitely a good pocket clip to have. All right. So get out the hardware check here. Take a look at the pivot. Not a captive pivot, plus it's got a D-shaped pivot barrel hidden in there. And body screws, you're looking at T8. Pivot T8 both sides, body screws T8. Not sure on the pocket clip. The pocket clip screw is actually inside. So I can get a good view of that. You can see it. You can see it right in there. That's the pocket clip screw, right? So it screws in from the back side like that. But looks to be a T8 also on that. Not 100% sure on that either. So correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Over travel stop, also a T8. So that's really good. T8 all the way around on the hardware. That's an awesome thing. It makes it a lot easier when you're just assembling it. And you don't have to worry about stripping out T6s. So only other way they could have made it any better, I think, is if it had a captive pivot. So let's talk about material on this. You're looking at 20 CV on the blade steel, titanium on the handle. Now you can get a dime a dozen, titanium handled M390/20 CV blade steel knives. But this one is pretty unique, I would say. I mean, looking at the blade shape, I don't even know what you would call that. It's like a cleaver, / Warncliffe something. Not really 100. I guess one thing that this would be good at is like pinch / draw cuts with these grooves. I was trying to figure out what these grooves are for up here, right? But come to think of it, when you look at it, you take your middle finger, your thumb, pinch it like that right there, put your index up here and draw it back. It's kind of perfect for that, right? And you can do the same thing, kind of, getting up in there for detailed draw cuts like that. So that's a definite plus. Looking at the thumb pyramids, whatever you want to call them right there, first time I'm noticing this actually is they look like they're removable. So I'm going to check that out. Get the T6 out, double check that. I think that's it. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. So you can actually remove those with the T6, right? So that's cool. That's good for sharpening. Definitely helps out, especially if you're using a slide rod sharpening system like the TS Prof, KME, Work Sharp, stuff like that. Definitely makes it a heck of a lot easier to sharpen this thing. As far as fit and finish goes on this thing, it is awesome feeling. It feels great whenever you're doing those draw cuts, choked up, pinch grip like that. Feels really good choked back like this because you got a lot of jimping right there. You got jimping up here. So feels really good like that. If I was to find one complaint about this knife, I would like this cut out more right here, right? So whenever you're choked up like this, you kind of want to put your finger, I do anyway, put your finger up right there, right? And you can't really do that with this because it will definitely cut into the meat of your finger. You can kind of maybe put like the tip of your finger right there and kind of pull back. But yeah, that would be a good thing to have. That and the captive pivot, that would also be cool. Other than that, man, I have zero complaints about this knife. This is an awesome knife. It's got great action. You know, this thing fires out really good. Once it clears the detent, it is glassy smooth, drop shut. You know, great action. And once you get used to the way that the thumb pyramids work, you know, you can't flick up like you do with a lot of knives. You kind of got to flick them out like that, right? If you flick up, you're going to catch yourself pushing in that frame lock. So, definitely awesome. You know, the reverse flick works perfect on this knife. Great opening method like that. My preferred opening method with a lot of knives. You know, that works just fine. Flicking it up, you know, flicking it out with your thumb flick opening works just fine. And of course, you know, slow rolling, two-handed, you know, that always works good too. The contouring on this thing is awesome. You know, they did a great job with that. And get a close up there of that. No sharp edges on the outside. You know, really great job, I would say. Milled titanium pocket clip, I think I already mentioned that. Blade is pretty bare, you know, minus the big fist, you know, the obvious Something Obscene logo, the fist with a lightning bolt on it, and a little, you know, CPM 20 CV right there. So very little billboarding on it. Comes in all kinds of different colors, you know, a bunch of different blade colors, or handle colors rather. Probably blade colors too, I'm not sure, but they got a lot of really cool stuff, Something I've seen. So definitely a unique knife. You know, I mean, looking at it, you're not going to forget this knife. It's not something that's just going to blend in with all the rest. So that's something that's you know, really nice to see nowadays for sure. And I'd say overall, aside from the blade shape, the action on this thing is definitely, you know, it's off the hook. It is awesome. You know, really great action on it for sure. So really great knife. They retail for around $400. You know, I can definitely understand how that's too expensive some people's taste, but for the fit and finish you're getting on this, the quality, you know, the materials are there, the quality's there, the design, everything I think's there. Fit and finish, everything in that department's there. So I think it's well worth the $400 for it. You know, if I'm in the market for a knife like this. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else to say about it. I really love this knife. It's going to go on my most recommended knives playlist for sure. Really great knife. Something Obscene Lek. Great knife, and I really appreciate Mr. Eddie letting me borrow it, let me hold on to it, and kind of review it and give my thoughts on it. So that's pretty much it. Appreciate everyone watching, everyone that's subscribed to the channel. Hit the like button if you like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.